Giovanni Ramirez, a 25-year-old Belize City resident, is alleging that attorney Oscar Selgado contracted him to kill Belize City resident Marlyn Barnes. In a statement given to police by Ramirez back in March 2019, he reported that in early February of that year, he called Selgado and explained that he needed an attorney. At that time, Ramirez was facing a couple firearm and ammunition-related charges. In a statement to police, Ramirez says that he later met Selgado on a street in front of the complex building and got into his Toyota 4Runner. He alleges that they drove around the city for 45 minutes. During that time, Selgado purportedly told Ramirez that he needed a favor. That favor, according to Ramirez's statement, was for him to get rid of Barnes because, according to Selgado, she was trying to tarnish his name before the General Legal Counsel. Ramirez's statement was read during a Voire hearing that began this morning. On Monday, Senior Counsel Adolph Lucas, the attorney representing Selgado, explained the Voire.
They're going to bring in two witnesses, one witness to show that Giovanni Ramirez supposed to be unfair to come to court. If the judge rules that he is fair to come to court, they're going to read his statement. But Mr. Selgado will have that opportunity to give evidence too in that void.
Ramirez's statement was read by former Inspector of Police Wilfredo Ferrofino from the stand. Ferrofino was the officer who took Ramirez's statement in March 2019. According to the statement, Ramirez and Selgado met on several other occasions. Ramirez told police that on one occasion, later that February, he met with Selgado and told him that he needed money. According to the statement, Selgado agreed to give Ramirez money. During that meetup, he allegedly drove Ramirez to Barnes' home so that Ramirez would know where she lives. All this was read before the court during the voir dire process and is for public consumption, contrary to what Selgado said on Monday when he sought to chastise the media.
What I want you people to understand is to respect the privacy of citizens, respect my privacy, and I don't want to see you back at this court until the case is finished.
Well, we were back at the High Court today, completely ignoring Selgado's ill-informed comment. We also learned from Ramirez's statement to the police that in late February, Selgado allegedly called Ramirez and told him that the month is almost over and Barnes is still alive. The clock was against Selgado because, as Shandishel Orbina, the former Secretary for General Legal Counsel, testified on Monday, the counsel had set Selgado's hearing for March 14th. But, as it turned out, Ramirez was only using Selgado for money. Ramirez told police that after his final meeting with Selgado, he called the attorney and informed him that all their conversations were being recorded and that Selgado would have to pay $1,000 in exchange for the recording. That exchange never occurred because Ramirez reportedly believed that Selgado was trying to set him up. And, as we reported on Monday, those recordings went missing from evidence. This morning, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams spoke with reporters about the missing recording.
Is this a proof of corruption or people being compromised within the law enforcement?
Certainly there's an issue of compromised individuals within the system. I'm not going to say at what level of the system, but there is some issue of compromise. And it is something that we're looking at myself and the DPP. But other than that, I'm not going to comment further. As you know, the matter is a live issue before the court. And as you rightly said, I'll be testifying today in that matter, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
And so when you find issues like this taking place within the police department, what kind of actions can you take against persons that you suspect are involved in corruption?
Jump to the police department, it's not the police.
Or whichever, how do you?
Like I said, we are looking at it myself and the DPP. If we should get the right evidence to pinpoint a particular individual, then we prosecuting that person.
Commissioner of Police Chester Williams also took to the stand today in the voir dire hearing. He testified that Ramirez came to him on March 15th with information that Selgado had allegedly contracted him to kill Marlyn Barnes. Compal Williams says he asked former Inspector Ferrofino to investigate the matter, and that is when the statement was taken. Compal Williams testified saying he had several interactions with Ramirez at the request of the Director of Public Prosecution, Sherilyn Vidal. 3 of those conversations were over the phone and were recorded. In them, Compol says Ramirez informed him and the DPP that he would not take the stand because he is in fear for his life. But there were some issues with playing those recordings in court this afternoon.
Something the DPP wanted to be played, but it was not on the DVD, but it's on the Commissioner of Police phone that he recorded. So they need to burn that's the term, and hand it to me. Then I and the client were going to look at the previous one they handed to me, and we'll make a comparison.
The matter was adjourned to October 11th. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.